Welcome back to today's episode of Control the Chaos Mama, Life and Launch Strategy for Creative Rebels and ADHD Entrepreneurs. Today we're going to talk about gratitude, and we're also going to talk about something that can seem very big but is actually really small. So let's get to it. So tomorrow actually is the 10-year anniversary of losing my mom. She was only 48. She had just actually had a birthday the week before, seemed totally fine. It was very sudden. Just got a call, rushed over, and she was gone. Never got to say goodbye, never had that closure. And I really struggled for a long time with feeling like my life was graded on a curve. Like every moment would be better if I had this person there. Like I couldn't get an A, like just feeling very stuck, very in a low place. And while I still feel like all the events, all the things would be better when she's here, there is a book I actually found at TJ Maxx, and I know I've mentioned this in past episodes, but it was a gratitude journal, because I do think that it's really hard to be having gratitude for what you do have while also in the same breath focusing on what you've lost. And so in my mind, this gratitude journal helped me so much. And I think what it did is it changed my perception. And so I want you to think of the things that you are perceiving as being so big and so helpful, and they might even be small things. And so what this did was empower me to think differently. And when it comes down to it, it really is your thoughts. And it also made me focus on just doing the next right step, which I think is really vital. So while I thought this gratitude journal was a big thing in my mind, and let's just be honest, I don't stick to journals or planners. So I actually found this journal a couple months ago. I found it. I was cleaning out the garage and I found it, and I really only had a few entries. I remember trying to do a habit, did it for a couple days, did it probably for a couple weeks, of at least reading or trying to get healthy and just get back to basics. But in reality, I didn't stick to it, but it still was big. It still did its job. It still redirected my thinking, and it still had value. And so I want you to think of that next time you think, oh, well, journals don't work for me, or workout plans don't work for me, or habit trackers don't work for me, or whatever this next thing is. And yeah, you probably are wanting to do that next thing because it's new and it's exciting and there's a dopamine hit. But it doesn't mean that even if you don't stick to it, so what? The perception is that you have to do the same thing every day to have a habit, but maybe your habit was even just the thought. So I want you guys to be encouraged that if you are feeling like there's something that you want to start, a habit you want to break, or maybe you want to stack a positive habit with a current habit, or make a morning routine, like I've been trying to do, I want to give you some encouragement, because I do think that we discount that if things are helping us for a time, only just a small time, that it wasn't helpful. And so I know this is a short episode, but I think that there is something to be said for the perception of what is valuable to us. And so something versus the act of writing down your gratitude is huge, but also thinking about what you're grateful for. For me, that also translated into even writing thank you notes. And so while I thought that I had stopped the journal, I noticed that I a lot of times would write thank you notes or send random Amazon gifts to people, and it made me feel better. So I want you to think of all the things that could be a gratitude practice, and maybe you can diversify it so that you'll stick to it a bit longer, and just give you some encouragement if you are feeling like you are starting and stopping a lot of habits, that you're always starting over. And here's the thing, maybe it is that searching for the other ways to show gratitude or show that practice that is the fun or the dopamine hit that you need to just make sure you're still attending to that almost thought or practice. And that is still valuable. Say a prayer for me. And as we and my siblings, my family face 10 years of being without my biggest cheerleader, and know that it's okay to have hard stuff. Everyone has hard stuff. I remember being a kid and saying, it's not fair. I was the oldest of 4, so of course there'd be times where, it wouldn't be fair. And I remember my mom saying, life's not fair. And the sad truth is life's not fair. Life is hard. And also the truth is that it has a lot of blessings and that it's better together. And focusing on what we do have and all of our good will greatly help us to have a better life. So think of me this weekend as we face 10 years without her, and know that if you have not ever tried a gratitude practice, because the world, society is very geared toward the negative, it really can help to shift your thinking and to see just how much you actually do have. It also will highlight what is urgent versus important. And I think that's a great distinction that a lot of people need to think about, because the urgent things are the things on that to-do list. But the important things are many times the walk outside in green space, the playing a board game with your kid, reading a book with them, or maybe taking the moment to acknowledge the things you are grateful for. All right, wishing you joy and abundance, Angel.